Hello everyone, my name is Putty and welcome back for another episode of OLLIE. It is the year in review, kind of, I think. I really should have thought this out. So, off screen, I planned out the next, I think, 2 months of storytelling. Well, ish, but a month and a half. And, so that's all ready to go, roll out as soon as January hits. But like I said last episode, we're going to be doing a bit of a different episode tonight. First thing I want to mention is that I had to rerun the previous show off screen because I forgot to save. My apologies. I forgot to save, unfortunately, and so I had to go back and rerun it. Luckily, the grades were about the same, so that's good to see. But Nicolas Lopez actually got injured, which he didn't last time. I'll just run through the grades for you again, in case you want to have a look at what the changed grades were like. There they are. So, yeah, but Nicolas Lopez got injured. I'm going to go into medical to show you. Also, Mr. Lucha 3 got injured, but he's back already, so that's okay. Chronic knee pain for Nicolas Lopez, which he'll continue to work through it, but his grades are going to be worse, which is fine. I'm looking at my notes, and he shouldn't have to do anything excessive. But it looks at things for the next couple weeks, which is good. Alright, so, this, like I said, is going to be a different show. It is going to be a mid-quarter special, no storyline advancement, hopefully no big, difficult things. Oh, why would you do such a thing? Yay. Oh, my apologies. Wrestler's Court for Emilia Reyes, who is now actually dating someone, I think, in the company, which is cool. More relationships are always good, more happy people. Being on the road in professional wrestling is pretty hard. So, let's see here. What are we going to run for? Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I remember now. I was going to do a kind of sort of night of championships in some ways, because a lot of our champions are mid-carders these days. And so I'm going to have Amo del Gato and Slayer and Hellspawn. You're used to seeing those fuckers now, aren't you? Taking on a random collection of faces. Marcos can probably slot into this spot. That, just for fun. I think this can probably even main event. Because it's a random collection of people that includes Marcos Flores, Luis Montero, and Amo del Gato. So it should be able to main event without too much of a problem. Probably call it. There's probably a couple people in there that shouldn't be calling it, but there's a lot of steady heads there, and a couple carry artists too, so shouldn't have too many problems. So we have Raven Nightfall, who only just, I think, won the title, so throw her straight into a match is not a dreadful idea. And I think Purple Viper is a pretty good one to throw her in there. She's had a couple problems with her in the past. I'm gonna go full 20 with this. They should be able to do pretty well. They've had a match before. They actually main evented a show a couple of weeks back, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. They can call it easy. Two of the bigger psych workers on the roster. I've already filled up a good amount of the show, so I'm going to throw in another trios match, which will be Dos Muertes 1 and 2, otherwise known as Tres Muertes, taking on, how about, I don't want any of the Resistencia, Frey Valentin, yeah, Valiente, Frey Valiente, Tricolor Jr., and Phoenix 3? Yeah, that works for me. And who are the Paris champs? It is the Los Hermanos Demonios. There you go. Always bad with that. Nobody's complaining that the soldiers are going over. That's good to see. Not often are they okay with such things. Because the soldiers are pretty low down on the card. And then also we are going to have a tag team title match. Considering we do, I should mention, maybe someone's noticed that Evil is both the Universal Champion and Paris Champion. I'm okay with that personally. He says, as he books this match, who's going to win, I wonder. Like I said, I was okay with it, so we're actually going to put Dos Phoenix over here. Like I said, I'm okay with him holding it, but it'll be nice to have a couple more defenses of the tag titles, and Evil isn't going to get a chance to defend. defend that title often if we don't get it off of him. Now, I guess he's never going to get a chance to defend it if we get it off of him, but you know what I mean. Evil to be kept strong, because he's like a main eventer. There we go. 65 minutes of wrestling. I guess I was saying we could have some highlights packages in there, but I feel like with all of the talking that's happened on this series so far, and after this episode we're going into another couple months of talking, I feel like the good people of Lucha Libre will be very happy to just have some freaking wrestling. So in a 60-60 plus, Phoenix 4 and Phoenix 2 win the Campeonatos de Pejeres OLLIE tag team titles. Evil was the carry artist tonight, which is fine. In a 50D plus, the Ejército de los Martes defeats the random collection of baby faces, which is cool. Then moving on to the second to last match on the card, which gets a 74 B-. I'm a little bit disappointed with this one. Raven Nightfall defeats Purple Viper, 19 minutes and 31 seconds by 2 straight falls. Raven Nightfall wins makes defense number 1 of her Campeonato de las Mujeres OLLIE title. And in the main event, 82B, really good match. Superb match. El Engendro del Inferno, Ahmed Delgado, Slayer, and Hellspawn 666 defeated Dragon Americano, Luis Montero Jr., and Marcos Flores in 20 minutes and 22 seconds when Ahmed Delgado defeated Luis Montero by pinfall in 9th life. Ahmed Delgado and Evil Intent make defense number 2 of their Campeonatos de Trio OLLIE titles. God, that's a lot. Ahmed Delgado carries as usual. Dragon Americano is the expected weak link, because these two are, no, they're not great, they're old, therefore they're pretty good. Luis Montero, by the way, we're re-signing to a new deal, got a 78B, which increased our pop in 4 regions. I'm still bewildered as to which regions those are, because we don't have a lot of pop in America, so I'd be very surprised if we weren't gaining pop there. Yet I'm also surprised if we're not gaining pop in Mexico. So, oh yeah, it's New Year, so Steve the Cult is world champ, is wrestler of the year. Yeah, we'll go through all these awards, kind of talk about the year, even though, like, the thing with, I used to do year-end reviews for MAW, and I did that because a lot of it was about building people, numbers, and game stuff, whereas this is more about a story, so I don't think there's really much worth going over. Like, I guess I could sum up some of the story for you, but I don't think this is going to be as much as last time. So we finished first in the regional battles. Okay, so let's go through the awards. Those are really interesting. So Steve the Cult is Wrestler of the Year. Company of the Year is Pride, not unsurprising. Team of the Year is Pride Koizo and Kozoi Kawashima? Kozoi? I know him, I know who he is. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but I always can't pronounce his first name for shit. Match of the Year was Johnny Bloodstone and Steve the Cult versus the Can-Am Blondes at Ed Henson Memorial Cup, which had 99 no hundreds this year. Interesting. Show of the Year was Pride's Night of Wrestling. Young Wrestler of the Year was Hijo del Aguila Americana. It was a south of the border opener. Veteran Wrestler of the Year is the Lord of Strongstar, right? Oh no, that's someone else. Really good wrestler though. He trained a lot of Pride's newest stars. Female Wrestler of the Year goes to Megumi Nakajima, who is not someone I often peg as one of the better wrestlers in the world, but you do see her pop up every now and then. What's her record like this year? Yeah, it's not bad. Certainly, like, at the start, women's wrestling isn't as good as it gets a couple of years in. Although, Queens of American Wrestling get the Most Improved Company of the Year. Independent Wrestler of the Year goes to Atlantis Jr., who is on the Mexican indie scene. Maybe you will end up as a dead person on my show at some point. Just, you know, keep working, kid. Manager of the Year goes to Don Jamel, of course. Announcer of the Year, Dwayne Fry. Color Commentator of the Year, Emma Chase. Referee of the Year, Darren Smith. There's never much surprising to start with those stuff. Edo Phoenix 4 has gone back from his excursion. I was worried there for a second. I was like, oh wait, are people going back from excursions? Because one of our, quite close to the top of the card, one of our important story workers is on an excursion with us right now. So, yeah, let's wrap up the year by looking back at a few of the things. So we started off the year, pretty normal wrestling promotion. Our champion was a demon from hell. But we did have crossover shows with CZCW, which, by the way, I think the only person who's really cared about the crossover shows that much was Dave. But I'm sure, like, some of you might have enjoyed them. We will be having a crossover show again this year. I've got it planned already. It's also going to be tied into the story. I think it's the next arc. We're still currently in the revenge arc. The next arc is going to be pretty much centered around our working together with another promotion. So I'm hoping to get 6 dates out of a couple of guys from over there, and we'll make it into a story. So, with that said, we moved into just normal feuds we were running for the first half of the year with Critico and Gino in the Mask versus Hair match, which Critico avoided getting unmasked like a coward. And we also had, of course, Nicholas Lopez and Silver Tiger in the feud about like whether Nicholas was a real luchador or not, the Confederation of the Territories Championship and all that. Mr. Lucha was for some reason being told by Mr. Lucha 1 to chase the trios titles and was being told it was very important. And then we moved up, and I think Marcos was feuding with with Hijo. Yeah, I thought Marcus was the champion, but no, it was Hijo feuding with Marcus for the title. That makes sense. Then we saw the introduction. Well, we saw the introduction early of Pesadilla, but she started to work with Cosmic Rider and La Sombra. They became a group of assassins. They were hired by the demons to take out Mr. Lucha 3, who was becoming a thorn in their side. One second, I need a call. Theodore was a bit of a rising star this year. The main thing he did was take out North Star Jr., took his mask, and that's largely all he's done so far. He joined with Pesadilla's group towards the end of the year to take out, because he's been a very effective worker. They thought he would be good to try and take out Mr. Lucha 3, who, even though they're not working with the demons anymore, they still kind of have a chip on their shoulder about the fact that they never took out Mr. Lucha 3. And so we're still hunting him down. Then we saw the arrival of Evil with his samurai demon assistant, Espadachín Demoníaco. And Evil announced that he was coming after the person who had slain the mortal form of Hijo del Mephisto, who, of course, was Pesadilla, who killed Mephisto quite early into the series. Mr. Lucha's quest became more important as we got introduced to the Dragon God of Life, who told him that if he doesn't get the titles back by the Day of the Dead, then an army of the dead will be risen by the demons. He managed to get a hold of the titles, but his luchador pride made him put them up again, and then the death of Manuel Prieto in storyline overcame him. The influence of the Dragon God of Death and the shadow energy around him kind of warped his mind. He turned on his friends, joined the demons with the false pretense, or seemingly false pretense, that he was going to revive his uncle Manuel Prieto next year with the same magic that rose this army of the dead. And then the Dragon God of Death, which is Finalizando, told him that, well, this might not actually be what you want. Look at this army of the dead. Is that really what you want to see your uncle revived as? These are these husks and these zombies. And we last left Mr. Lucha 3 with a bit of a soul searching to do. He's very clearly in denial. He continues to work with the demons because he thinks he's gone too far to give up now. Finalizando's taken some time off, but we assume he's still after Mr. Lucha 3. Evil has started to step his game up a bit in his search for Pesadilla, and that's his main goal right now, is to get revenge on her. He has since, though, won the title, the Universal title, off of Nicholas Lopez after Nicholas learned that the title that he held could be used to wipe out the the undead army, but only next year at the specific date and specific time. And so right now, the goal of the heroes, which is largely just Nicholas Lopez, is to get back that title before El Día de Nacional de Lucha, which is the day that he can use it to wipe out the army of the dead. Obviously, Evil doesn't quite know why they want the title, but he's adamant to keep it away from them. Meanwhile, he's again searching for Pesadilla. Triador's got Mr. Lucha 3 in his sights. Mr. Lucha 3 is largely just helping the demons in any way they possibly can, because he still believes that next year they'll help him bring his uncle back. And I think those are largely the motivations we've established this year. We had our ace Gino, but that was largely a wrestling angle. Gino was really good. He wrestled a bunch of matches. He was our figurehead, got taken away by SWF. Not much, the story with Gino. So, there's that. Cosmic Rider, La Sombra left, but we didn't really explain why. He's just kind of missing. And yeah, aside from that, I don't think there's really much else to talk about. I've really enjoyed the year. Going through it again, I'm glad I did, because that was really fun to talk about. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I actually think we've got better stuff ahead, maybe. I'm not too sure. I've planned it out. I think the story will continue. I've obviously got an ending. I've got an end. Oh, I should mention this. So I talked last episode about an endgame. And I do want to talk that the series, at least in my head right now, is probably going to end this in-game year. And that's because I don't want, like, when I'm doing such a story-based thing, I don't want to kind of drag it out too long. I don't want it to outstay its welcome. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to outright, like, end the save. What's going to happen is I've got an ending point. I've got a finale planned for this story. And it'll be very obvious when and where it is, but I'm not going to spoil it. It might be obvious to you already. But we're going to go up to that point, and I'm probably going to talk a little, like, a couple weeks before it happens, that's going to be the ending point. And then we'll end the story. We'll kind of see where we are. And I'll say, look, the series is, for all intents and purposes, over. But if you guys think there is enough to continue, if you guys think that, and if I think, because I need to look at it too and think whether I can tell new stories, another story, whether the world can ever continue from where we leave it, what happens and such. If you guys want to see more in the world, if you guys want to see more from it, then you can comment now if you want, but I think you should see how this story wraps up before you comment. But if you want to see more of it, then you can tell me. If you think it's probably wrapped up nicely or it's run its course, then you can tell me then as well. So that's our end game. I'm expecting we're about 60 parts in. I think we're 59 parts in now. I don't think it'll get to 100, but it might just. But if not, then 80, 90 parts is roughly where we're probably going to wrap it. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I think this is a great promotion. I hope I've done it justice. I know I've done something a little different with them than I think most would do. Yeah, I think I have, demons, dragon gods, and the army of the dead and that all. But Lucha Libre is about colorful characters, and yes, I took it a tad too far. But I thought it was. I've had a ton of fucking fun, and at the end of the day, that's why I do it. And I've had some people say that they're enjoying the series too, and that is wonderful. So thank you all for watching. Not only this video, but the series so far and the series in the future. I really appreciate it. Every comment, I love it. That's why I do it. And I hope you continue to stick with me. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy being one of the only people on YouTube that do long series and long form stuff and Seaverse stuff. And it's really cool. And I'm hoping that what I'm doing makes more people do longer series, because I'd love to watch longer Seaverse series out there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. For 2017, oh, I should probably show you the Power 15, Power 500's top couple before we wrap, shouldn't I? Power 500, so there is the top 20, any surprises? Sean's pretty high for his age. Steve is, oh yeah, of course, Steve, that is a surprising top 5. Like, I know I didn't really react when Steve was top, but that is a little surprising, with Johnny right behind and Sean. It's like, AI gives no shit about time decline. So, that one's quite interesting. In terms of our Power 500, which I love the filter option on the Power 500 now, the fact that you can just filter to see your guys. If you remember back in Maw, I used to go through the fucking entire roster checking where they were ranked. Actually, I just realized I should probably not be showing you guys this. I'm looking up and down. Nope, no spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, there's one guy on the roster I was like, oh shit, he's gonna appear, and you're gonna, like, know who it is, and no, like, Panda Mask, you probably guessed that's who Thingamajig Panda is. Kobashi I've shown you before, Eric Strong I've shown you before, Kirk Jameson we know, Fukihiga we know. I'm not gonna go any further down. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 people further that I've gotten on this list, one of which I'm sure, because he's very good, although he hasn't wrestled much for us, is probably on this list too, and it's a bit of a spoiler, so I'm still intent on keeping that one character you don't know about yet under wraps for as long as possible. I just have fun with it. I'm sorry if it bothers you. I don't think it would, though. Anyway, I am going to wrap because I've had a lot of fun. And I hope to see you for 2017. We are still in the revenge arc. We have a pay-per-view next month I've got planned. But I'm not going to announce it for a couple of weeks. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Adios, amigos!